It's only one game in. I'm not going to get too carried away, but we're going to win the league. Nottingham Forest, final word. Welcome back to the video on the channel, Newcastle fans. If you are new to Black and White Bandit, make sure you drop down, give us a like, give us a subscribe. All them little likes go a long way to get us a little bit further up the search bar. And if you like my opinion, if you subscribe, you'll be notified every single time I post a video. So please do so. It all goes down very well and we appreciate it a lot. So, Nottingham Forest, wow. That's my first reaction to yesterday's game. This video is coming a little bit later as a final word of the weekend, because my head was a little bit sore and I stayed in the pub way too long after the match, as is normally the case for the first game of the season. But who could blame us? The pints were going down too well after what was almost a perfect performance. I'm not going to say it was the finished article of a performance, because I think if you were being fussy, we should have maybe scored more goals, put Nottingham Forest to the sword a little bit more, maybe in the first half, had a few and just had the game out of sight sooner. But generally speaking, as far as season openers go, that was absolutely fan-fucking-tastic, pardon the French. Absolutely wonderful. We were everything I'd hoped. I was confident going into the game, as I think a lot of Newcastle fans were. Nottingham Forest was maybe a bit of a banana skin on paper because it's a newly promoted side. We expected them to be full of beans, full of excitement. The fans will be up for it. The manager will be up for it. But they have signed a lot of players, and I'll be totally honest with you, after watching 90 minutes of football from them yesterday, I was a bit disappointed. This isn't a Nottingham Forest fan channel by any means, so I'm not going to talk about them too much, but they were a little bit flat, and I think if they're going to stay up this season, it's going to take them a little bit of time for these. I think they had 6 starters in the 11 that started the match yesterday, a new signing, sorry. So that's going to take a little bit of time to gel. The sooner they gel, the better for them if they're going to have any chance of staying up in this division, because they were second to every ball, a bit clueless going forward, and we just absolutely pummeled them. The urgency was amazing from us. Pressing, snappy passing, inspired by Bruno in central midfield, who I'll touch on in a second. Just all over the pitch today, we were absolutely brilliant man for man. From the goalkeeper, who had very little to do, by the way. I actually made a joke today that he basically got he may as well have had a camping chair because he had that little to do. So as far as the debut for Nick Pope goes, we couldn't really talk too much about him as a goalkeeper. Comfortable on the ball when needed, when he was passed it back. Didn't really have any saves to make. Caught a few balls. I think he dropped one in the last couple of minutes in injury time, which was probably the only thing he did wrong. But apart from that, he was the only player who started yesterday that we could be talking about as a new signing. Not really much to talk about, so we'll swiftly move on from him. I thought defensively we were solid. I thought Dan Burn was my standout defender yesterday. He was a problem for them from set pieces at the other end. Won a couple of crucial interceptions and just looked really, really good. Obviously, no Botman. Eddie Howe's come out and said he has to earn his place, and the players are still in the team because of what they did last season at the back end, and I really, really respect that. That tells me everything you need to know about Eddie Howe as a coach. He wants Botman to be patient, to prove himself, and he doesn't want to see any player lose what they deserve to keep after last season's performances. Trippier, class to see him back in a Newcastle shirt. Hopefully he stays fit all season. The midfield, I mean, Bruno was absolutely fantastic. You watch his highlights back, you look at his stats. We could be looking, and it's a very big early statement, we could be looking at one of the most talented midfielders to wear a Newcastle shirt. Maybe in my lifetime. I mean, I'm 30 years old. So you're going back to, we've had some good ones. The Kabais. Obviously, I was a little bit too young for the Keegan era to remember some of them. I was only about 4 or 5 years old during the Keegan entertainer days. But certainly from the Bobby Robson era onwards, he, for me, might be one of the best. If he stays fit, gets better and better, sharper, learns the Premier League more week in, week out. He's just so comfortable on the ball, and he's already turned into that central midfielder that makes us tick. His range of passing, his precise passing, whether it's the weight of the ball for through balls. He was slitting balls to Almiron. He was slitting balls out wide to Maximin all afternoon. And he was just so classy, so composed, so casual, always wants the ball. He's always one step ahead of everyone in that midfield. And he was just wonderful. And if he stays, like I say, if he stays fit all year, which there's no reason for him not to, he's got no record of any injuries, he's just going to be better and better every week, and he's an absolute joy. And then you've got Joe Linton, who's obviously turned into the Jordi Pele after coming into the club after the Eddie Howe transformation. And again, he was just everywhere. Should have scored in the first half when he skinned 2 players. The only thing he had to do was the easy bit and roll it in the bottom corner. He should be hitting the target. But all in all, again, everywhere. Interceptions, running, tackling. Never stopped going. Charging people down. Tight to everyone. Just fantastic. And I think he's starting to add a little bit more going forward as well. Just bit by bit by bit. He's pulling little pockets of space and trying to make things happen in the final third. Callum Wilson didn't really have much of a sniff until he got that wonderful goal. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know how he's managed to loop that over the way he has, but that's the kind of calibre of striker we're talking about. Always on the lookout, always looking for a cross, and never gives the defender a second. So please, Callum, stay fit. Please. Fabian Schär's goal, I haven't even touched on it yet. My God, that has probably been uploaded on Pornhub in the last 24 hours because it is that good. It's one of them ones you want to get a bottle of lube to watch it back and a big pack of toilet roll. It was absolutely fantastic. And to be honest, on the way home from the game, I thought to myself, if Fabian Schär didn't score that screamer, would we have gone on to win the game? Because we were knocking on the door, and we just weren't really at the races in the final third of the pitch. So I don't know. That opened the deadlock, and I think as soon as that wonderful piece of wizardry flew in the top corner, I think we always knew we were going to win the match. Forest were offering nothing. And then obviously Callum Wilson pops up that lovely thing. But if for any reason there's a Newcastle fan watching this who hasn't seen Fabian Schär's goal yet, give it a watch. My only negatives from the performance, and we always have to talk about something, although it was almost perfect today, so I'm not going to touch on too much. It highlighted why Eddie Howe wants to bring in some more signings. I think in the final third, we are still lacking a little bit of quality. Maximin still struggles to get any shots off of quality. Almiron, I've never known a more one-footed player than Almiron. It showed again today. There was so many positions on that right-hand side where he just has to use his right foot. There was a chance in the first half where the ball got blazed across the box. He could have scored if he'd used his right foot and he went for his left. He's scared of it. And I think he's only going to get found out on that right-hand side more and more if he refuses to use his right foot. He's petrified of the thing. It's as if he's only got one leg. So I think that's an area we need to look at. I don't like Almiron on the right. I think he looks more and more the player who's suited to being like a 10, a Roman 10. I think that's probably, in the past, that's where he's played for Atlanta when he played in America. Right-hand side for me, with being so one-footed, I'm just not convinced. And again, yeah, it just highlighted for me why Eddie Howe wants the James Maddisons, why he wants a striker. Because obviously if Callum Wilson's injured, Chris Wood for me just doesn't cut the mustard. But I think in that midfield, I think we need a winger and I think we need a central attacking mid. A couple of attacking signings, and based off what I saw yesterday, which I'm not jumping the gun, it's only one game, it's only Nottingham Forest, no disrespect to them, we could be on for a very good season. And the reason I think that is not because we beat Forest 2-0, but because of the way we went about the game. And this is day one. The pressing, the fitness of the players, the urgency, the passing, the tempo. Even when we went 1-0 up, the Newcastle teams of the past would have slowed right down and chilled the hell out. And we just kept going and going and going for that second goal. And Eddie Howe has just carried over the momentum from last season, which I really hoped would happen. It looks like that's happening. And is every day going to be like the Nottingham Forest game? Of course not. They weren't overly at the races, and I think the Forest fans would agree with that as well. We were just a better team. We were better in all areas. There's going to be hard days. We've got Brighton next week. We've got a very good win at Man United today. That's going to be a totally different kettle of fish. We've got Man City. We've got Liverpool. Let's talk in about 8 games about where we think we can finish this season, because I'm still not jumping the gun in terms of top 7, top 8, but that start, I think, is only going to add to a couple of Newcastle fans' ambition and excitement, because that was a fantastic performance we saw yesterday. And it was just great from first whistle to last. I'm trying not to get too excited because like I say, it's a long old season ahead, and it was against a very disjointed Forest team, in my opinion. But it was bloody good. And all it's said to me is, let's keep enjoying the ride. If we finish 9th and we have days like yesterday along the way of good football, good attacking goals, entertainment, a cup run maybe in there somewhere, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But wow, what a performance, Newcastle fans. Absolutely fantastic. And that Fabian Schär strike just sprinkled on a little bit of magic just on top of what was an almost perfect afternoon. If you are new to the channel, Newcastle fans, give us a like, as I said, give us a subscribe, and let me know now in the comments, what did you think of the game? Were you there? Do you see us pushing on from this? Has that changed where you think we'll maybe finish? And who would you like to see in the transfer window after what you watched yesterday as well? And if you're a Nottingham Forest fan who's maybe managed to hook onto this video through YouTube, let me know what you thought. Do you think you're going to stay up? And what you thought of your day at St. James's Park if you were in the away stand, the safe standing stand. And hopefully I'll touch down for some transfer videos this week, because there might be something bubbling between now and the Brighton game. And I've got no doubt I'll touch down for a Brighton match preview before I go. I am going down to the Brighton game as well. So, like I say, thanks for watching, Newcastle fans. I hope you've had as great a weekend as me after that lovely performance. And I'll see you on the next video. Away the lads.